Welcome to round 6, the final race of the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing Championship, sponsored by Zane Plumley Motorsports and Icon Sim Sports. So here we are at Laguna Seca. This is going to be the telltale round of who is going to take home the championship for the first season, for all the newcomers and the rookies for iRacing here as these autocrossers are putting them test to the track and seeing how this is all going to play out. So again, I've brought back my co-host, Lexi.
Right here, mate.
All right, she's already back from Great Britain again. Going to make this a little bit more uh, formal by having a British commentary going on. Right, so we are going to take a quick lap here throughout the track. As you can see, Laguna Seca, very popular track used by kart and the WeatherTech series of IMSA, and also Formula One, I think at some point was here as well. So this is an interesting track. It's in Laguna Seca, which is in Malibu, no, not Malibu, it's in Monterey, I was close, California. And it's a very interesting track. There's not a lot of grass there, so if you run off, the whole thing is really just a big pit to slow you down. And a lot of slippery corners. You're going to see a lot of dust on the track. There's usually a lot of winds and stuff, so it's a very slippery conditions today. So it's going to be interesting way we do. So at this turn 5 here, as they are going to start to go a short stretch upwards into a sharp left with the dip down in the middle. You definitely want to take that dip and hook your your left side tires in there and launch right out of it, so you get a good grip going up the hill. So you get a good drive going all the way up into the most famous corner of all of this most motorsports is the corkscrew, and we'll get you a couple different views from that. So what do you think about the track, Lexi?
I like it.
What do you like about it?
Well, I'm glad that there's no grass because now, two things. Now the grass won't get hurt, and two, I won't need to take away anyone's points.
Oh, that's actually a good thing. So we got a big field today. The leaderboard will...
Ooh, I saw someone crash.
Oh yeah, it looks like Bob Blucher is off already on the warm-up lap. Don't know what happened there. Hopefully we'll find out here soon enough. All right, the pace car is off. Looks like Robert Hall is actually on pole position this week, followed by Justin Casey, Trevor Renson, Eric, and Leland Giddens also in there. And there we go. All right, so and there's the start over the first hill up to the side. And let's go ahead and have Lexi do the rundown of how everybody started.
In first place is Justin. In second place is Trevor. Third place, Justin. In fourth place is Eric. In fifth place is Leland. In sixth place is Richard.
Yes.
In seventh place is Zane. In eighth place is Carl. In ninth place is Andrew. In 10th place is Michael. In 11th place is Junie. In 12th place is Robert. In 13th place is another Robert.
All right, so let's talk about the first action there. So Justin Hall was actually after the first corner, probably lost a little bit of grip there on some cold tires, and he drops back. Actually looks like 5th or 6th place. Slots right in there in front of Zane Plumley, and Justin Cady is doing his best impression of getting away from the field as he normally does, which leaves everybody else fighting for second and the rest of the pits of the podium. Oh, there goes Trevor on an inside run down to the corkscrew. He's blinking a little bit, having some connection issues, but Eric holds on pretty good, and Leland pulls into the side right over there. They're going to go side by side through the downhill part here. Oh no, that's Leland that went off just a little bit. Yes, it is. So he regains pretty quickly there. And Richard, which I think is Dean, I think that's his son Dean, who's actually racing tonight, is up there in 6th. So those guys are going at it. And Justin Hall looks like he's fallen back to about 7th, 6th or 7th, right in front of Zane Plumley. And after that is Chris Wells. And then
It changed.
Oh, it did change. Yep, everyone crossed the line there. So we'll go through that real quick. So after the first lap, this is going to be lap number 2 of 25. So we will have a pit stop tonight, and you see the sun going down over the California coast over in there. So Justin Cady is pulling away. He looks like he got a 3-second lead over Eric, who's made up some spots, and Trevor Renson is right on his bumper, right behind that. And also Leland has made up his spot over Dean. And Justin Hall is trying to hold on to space, get back to the front where he put the car on pole position. We got some shuffling here. Trevor is all over the back of Eric. Oh, and Zane is, oh no, I think that's Leland. Leland's all over the back of Dean. So yeah, it's gonna be tight battles here. So hopefully things won't get too crazy. We got a long race tonight. So as they go up the hill, let's go ahead and change so you guys can see what it is like. This is going into the corkscrew. It just drops out from and under you and keeps going and keeps dropping, makes it very, very slippery. All right, we're in Dean's car right now. He's on the back of Leland, going in the front. So a lot of action going on. The camera's changing a lot of the spots, looking for the most exciting stuff going on. So right now we are in we're actually back in Leland's car with the Zane Fleming Motorsports livery and racing suit on his car, and he's trying to hold off Dean the best he can, going into the Andretti hairpin. Up ahead is Trevor all over the back of Dean still. Eric. Still, and oh, Eric goes off just a little bit, going for a little nudge in, and Dean gets on the inside. What a good drive and a good run on the brakes. He moves up the position into 4th, takes away from Leland into 5th. All right, Lexi, tell me what's going on in the race.
Well, the race is going good so far, and who I'm cheering for is who's in the car. It's a pink car. It's not that pink car, but it's a pink car with fire on it. It looks like the blue car, I think.
Oh, really? All right, well, if you see it pop up on the screen, let me know. All right, so if you just saw it there, you just see Trevor take the inside line going into turn 5 there, and the inside of Eric, and he's headed up the hill and down to the corkscrew. Whoa, we lost the race. What happened? There we go. So everyone's still single file at this point. Some good little battles going on. Everyone's still trying to feel themselves out. I know some people during the race were talking about if they wanted to see if they could ride out the fuel strategy and not pit, because the amount of laps that we have and the amount of gallons that were actually in the tank, which is 5.3 for this particular race, only got you to about lap 21 to 23, and it's obviously 25 laps. So Bob Blucher was actually talking about, since he got a bad start, to try to fuel save and short shift wherever he can to see if he can actually make up some space without having to go to the pits. So we'll see how that plays out here during the race. All right, there goes Leaving, dive bobbing in on Dean just a little bit and backs out. Oh, which actually opens the door for Justin Hall, gives him a little tap in the corner. Right there, everyone stays about where they are at this point. So let's go down the running order real quick. So Justin is out front. He's got a big lead at this point, while Trevor and Eric were racing for position there for 2nd and 3rd. So Dean's up in 4th, followed by Leland. Justin Hall, Zane Plumley started 7th, and he is still in 7th. Andrew's made up some places, and Michael Cabrera is in 9th. And there's Junie Thompson, who says out, but he's not out. He's actually back there. He was probably about 7 seconds behind me at this point. So there, that was Michael just turning the corner there. So yeah, Junie having a very quiet race here today. So we'll see where he ends up towards the end of the race. And Bob Blucher looks like he made up some pace. Chris Wells looks like he had an off. He is way behind at this point. And Robert Mason also had a crash. So he's out for the whole entire race. I believe he disconnected. So we'll see what's going to happen here between past presidents, Robert, Blucher, Bob, and Chris, and see who has. So we actually have 3 presidents, Martin Sports Car Club presidents in this race. So myself was being the 3rd one. So we'll see who gets the best one. Oh, no, there goes Andrew off. He's out there in the kitty litter heading out, and he's actually hit the tire wall, and see how much damage he has to his car, see if he can keep going at this point. That'll move Michael back up into 8th place. So things starting to calm down just a little bit. I think the tires are getting nice and warm, and guys are just trying to figure out where they are with their strategy of how they're going to play. And of course, with the tires, with only having to take on 1 or 2 gallons for this race, it doesn't give you time to give you tires. So if you wear out your tires too fast and you have to take tires, that increases your pit stop probably by another 15 or 20 seconds. So that could be a lot of places in this race for guys who are not taking tires. So some guys are trying to save those, and a lot of different strategies going on for the race. All right, Lexi, your turn. You are up. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I haven't seen the pink car that I was looking for, but about the race, I give everyone 90 points.
Whoa, 90 points, and it's only lap 5. How
Is that
crazy
too
is
much?
that? I think that's too much, but you're the point giver outer, so that's okay. All right, top of the hill. There goes Trevor and Eric. Still kind of tight in the same train. There's Dean. I forget how young Dean is, but he actually, I could be around 13, 14, 15 years old. So he is definitely quick for his age. So we'll be keeping an eye on him, throughout his career and see what happens. Hopefully he continues to keep racing with us. So some of the good news that we have is with so many people that are interested in to continue racing in this championship with the same group of people, and the amount of people that have taken interest on Facebook and YouTube for the amount of hits and likes and comments that we've had. We have already extended another 2 seasons after this one. So season 2, the big announcement here is we're going to keep the MX-5 for people still trying to get a hang of what's going on with iRacing, and for those who don't want to spend a bunch of money, which you can do on iRacing. But we're adding a second class, so we're going to go mixed class racing. So Miata is going to go in one class, and then we're going to have the GT4 cars. One of them is going to be the Cayman GT4, the Porsche, which has been on iRacing for a few months. And it's going to be joined by the brand new BMW M4 GT4. So we're going to see who's going to move up in the classes next season. I know myself will be running a Cayman. I believe Junie will be running a Cayman, and Bob Blucher will be running a Cayman. So we'll have to find out who's going to hold the flag there for the BMWs this year. All right, so back to the action. What you got, Lexi?
What I noticed on the leaderboard is that at the very bottom, Robert is out.
Yep, he's in the pit. I think he crashed and he signed off.
Wait, but the pit mean... Oh.
Yeah, he parked his car.
Oh.
He broke it.
I bet he's eating some donuts at home.
Well, I hope he saved some, because there should be a donut party again at the end of this race.
You're all invited to a donut party after the race.
Yep, so there's a good shot right there. The car in the very far distance is Justin Cady, doing his normal thing. He is on autopilot at this point, and there's Dean and Eric. So it looks like Dean is closing up on Eric, and Eric's losing a little bit of touch with Trevor that's out front. So let's keep an eye on this race and see how it plays out just a little bit. We can really see those brake rotors glowing. So Eric went a little bit too deep into the corner, and the Andretti hairpin gave a lot of space made up there by Dean, and he's going to be probably attacking him within the next set of corners. That's a very slippery corner. So one thing you're going to see on iRacing on this one is the track does look orange, and that's because of the new sunset and dynamic sky that they have on iRacing to make it more realistic. So as a driver, you would actually see the reflection, the orange sun off the pavement, and that's why it does look like that. It's supposed to be that way. So as you're driving around here, when the sun sets, you actually get blinded when you drive towards the sun, which makes it difficult, again, just like you would, in a regular car if you were driving at Laguna Seca. So we did see a blimp up there. How about we do a blimp shot? Let's do it. You want to do a blimp shot?
Sure.
All right, there's our blimp shot. There's the top view of the corkscrew. Doesn't look as crazy, but definitely is. Let's see if we can get some different views on that one. Let's see what's going on. So see some other action going on. There's Robert Hall. Oh no, Justin Hall. So it looks like who's in front of him? That's Leland Giddens right in front of him. So these guys are kind of keeping it tight. Justin is still trying to look to get back to the front after his start. Don't know exactly what happened, but looks like Leland is going to reach the start-finish line first, and maybe Justin can get just a little bit of a draft. Not too much here. It's not a long enough straightaway, not enough speed, because that last corner is a second gear corner coming out, so you're just really grabbing for traction. So not a lot of aero dependent or aero speed that you can gain on this particular track. Here, Robert. So we'll do a little bit in car. Let you see what it is with Justin. So you can tell a lot of these cars are sliding around. Leland is giving it all he got, and actually that little slide, Justin's got a real good jump off the corner, but doesn't have the preferred line. So he's going to give that up to Leland and see if he can mount another attack on him at some point. A little bit of sketch there. So the whole entire track really is like a big drift at this point. So here we go with that corner leading up. You want to hook it right in that area just like that. It dips down, falls out, and as soon as you get past that apex, you just want to put that foot through the floor and get that motor going as fast as they can to get up the hill and not lose any speed. There's a good view of the corkscrew. You can't even see the corner. It's a blind corner that just falls away from you, and you just got to trust where it is. And it only, through experience, can you get used to where that is. I know the first time I driven there on iRacing, I think I missed the corner the first maybe 100 out of 100 times. So it's definitely something that you got to get used to. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, here's Justin Cady out front. It is a Ascari Auto Sport livery for the team that he drives for. Yeah, if you notice, Justin's style obviously is fast, no doubt about that. But also, he likes to saw up the wheels a lot to get the maximum grip out of that corner. He uses, a lot of the tire going through each and every corner. But nonetheless, he does keep the car very smooth and in control the whole entire time. What do you think about Justin's driving?
I like it.
You like it?
I don't like it. I love it.
Oh, all right. Well, Justin Cady, you got a new fan for this week. So there goes that corner just bottoming out there. And Trevor is in the back there looking like he's trying to keep pace, maybe catching up a little bit. So still eight seconds back right around there. So we'll keep an eye how that closes up. So that's another good view of another version of the corkscrew. It's just how it just completely falls out from under you. And this is a very slippery section going through here. We're using all the track on this lap. I think he knows that Trevor's coming. At times coming down just a little bit. This is where you want to get a really good drive to go up and over the hill. And even though it is sort of straight, it's technically not a straight, but they call it a straightaway anyway. Do you think it was a straightaway?
Mm-hmm.
Looks straight to you?
Yeah.
All right, so here we are in the front of Chris Wells' car. So we just missed him in the corkscrew. And definitely hitting his lines. I know he's trying to make up some space. He's got Bob right behind him. Let's check out what Bob's doing. There we go. So I've got maybe a couple second gap going on. Don't see a lot of damage to Bob's car, so that's probably pretty good. So his off on the warm-up lap wasn't so bad. So Andrew, who did go off into the tire wall over there, I guess did have to go back to the pit and get some repairs. And he's definitely quite a ways back from these guys. So look at Bob just jamming on those brakes there. Closes up a lot of space on Chris Wells. But Chris, being a really smooth driver, is probably just going to pay attention to what's in front of him at this point and keep Bob behind him as much as he can. And these two, when they're actually driving their real autocross cars, they are brutal but loving competitors. And it seesaws back and forth. They both have very, very different styles in real life and also on the cars here in iRacing as well. But nonetheless, both of them are pretty fast all the time. So they're going to be learning and picking up more stuff. Whoa, Bob! There you go. Hang on, man. You got it. All right. Get those squirrels going up the hill. See what you got down the corkscrew. We're going to keep this view for a couple more seconds, let you see what it's like from here to see what it is on the corkscrew.
Whoa.
Whoa is right.
That was
Yeah.
a hill.
All right, so you can kind of tell looking at the course map, there's some battles going on here and there. Everyone's still within the front. I know Chris and Bob are back there trying to fight for not being called in last place, which I know they talked about a lot during that. There's Dean. So we haven't talked about the leaderboard in a while. So Lexi, why don't you run down the leaderboard?
Still in first place is Justin Katie. In second place is Trevor still. In third place is Richard. In fourth place, Eric.
Oh no, hold on, I gotta cut you off. Oh no,
Oh,
Dean
no.
went off. Just as you said his name, that is like the announcer's nightmare.
Oh,
You know,
no.
it's the bad luck when they talk about you on television. So it looks like he's got some damage, absolute damage to that car. So he went too wide coming out the corner and going up the hill. And it looks like he got tagged a little bit by Eric, but that was already after he was sliding. So Eric did not cause that. So it looks like he's gaining, some composure. Yes, I'm hungry. Some composure back, keeping his car on track. See if he needs to go to the pit for anything. Maybe he can take care of his pit now and check out his fuel strategy to be able to still get this under a one stopper and see what he can do. All right, so back to Lexi talking about the leaderboard. So start on third place, Eric, who just moved in there.
In third is Eric. In fourth is Justin. In fifth place is Richard.
Oh, wait, somebody just moved in fifth place. Who was it?
You.
Yeah, I know.
Zane.
That's awesome.
You just mean. In sixth place is Michael. Seventh is Leland. In eighth is Junie. In ninth place is Richard. In 10th place is Carl.
Chris.
In 11th is Robert. In 12th is Andrew. In 13th is Robert.
All right, so as we're going there, so Dean did go through there and actually take a pit stop and get his car fixed. So we do have unlimited repairs in this particular, series, and that's because I wanted people to race and not sit in the pits waiting for their cars to be damaged. So we just, this is all about the fun of the sport, and especially, being the first time for a lot of these guys, it's very disheartening if you get into a wreck, which happens a lot, when you're just learning the iRacing platform. And I didn't want people to get discouraged. So fast repairs are the best way to go, get you back on track and still salvage, somewhat of the day and still be able to race, the whole entire time. So you could wreck 20 times. You might be 20 laps down, but at least you don't have to wait in the pits. So, all right, so look at that. It came up to halfway. We're at the halfway point of the race. So if you notice some of the leaderboard that Lexi was going over, Leland actually went off on turn 3 and slid out into the gravel there, and myself and Michael happened to go by and make up some spaces. So there goes Dean right there. Let's see, who did he get in front of? See if I can get a car number. Might be Junie. Yep. We'll check on that whenever it switches. But speaking of Junie, so Junie's moved up to 8th. So again, having a quiet race from Junie, but nonetheless, he is just being very solid, very stable. Just, he's very, calculating with his laps and his corners and his time. So he's being pretty consistent. So we'll see how he ends up with that. So he's doing pretty good. Oh, we lost somebody there for a second. Oh, connection issues. All right, let's move up to Trevor Renson, still following after Justin Katie, but look at that. So originally was like 9 seconds. Now it looks more like 3 or 4 seconds. I know what the leaderboard says. Not sure why it says that. There you go. That's more like it. 2.5 seconds back. That's more like it. So Trevor is putting the hammer down and making up some space on Justin Katie. I wonder what Justin thinks about that. Oh, no. Trevor pulls into the pit. So I guess he's doing his pit stop early. He's going to try to undercut Justin. See if we can pull off a faster pit stop. So hopefully he has everything set up. So one of the cool things about iRacing as well, when you do a pit stop, is you can do everything from inside your car as far as how much fuel you want to take. Some people actually have an app like Crew Chief that will automatically calculate fuel based off of your fuel mileage for
They're
the car.
ghosts.
Yeah, there are ghosts. Yeah,
They're
so
ghosts. They're all ghosts.
so Trevor's taking tires, and if you see the car going up one side or the other side, so in order to save bandwidth and not really clog up, the broadcast or anything or the sim, they don't show you the people that are actually changing the tires. I know that when you are in the car, you can actually check a box to actually have pit guys rolling all around the car and changing tires, and it's pretty cool. It's really neat. So iRacing's done a really good job with that as well. All right, so as Trevor regains the race, let's see if we can pick up the next car to find out where he came back and how much time he's back on Justin Katie, and keep an eye on how this is going to turn out for Trevor. There's a lot of people that haven't pitted yet. So Eric, Justin, Zane, Michael, Leland, Junie, Dean, Chris Willis, almost everyone else. So he's probably one of the early pitters outside of Dean who actually did have to pit just because of his accident. And there he is. Looks like he's all on his lonesome self. So number 25, can't miss those yellow rims of Michael Cabrera. So let's talk about Michael for a minute here. I got to say I am really impressed with Michael this week. So we know he's had some, little problems mowing some grasses and hitting some walls and flipping upside down. And he and Bob always get together. Seems like the last couple of races are magnetized to each other. But this is probably the best race that I have seen Michael run this whole entire championship of these 6 races. So got to give him credit for that. I know he's practiced a lot this week. He's keeping everybody updated on all of his practice and sessions and times. So right now he's got Leland behind him, who went off over there on turn 3, trying to make up some space. So we'll see how this one is going to work out. Because Michael is fast. Just he didn't work on consistency, and I think this week he's actually checked all the boxes, and he's gonna keep it together. So out in front of them is myself, and Michael is actually catching me for quite some time. And now he's got Leland all over the back with him. So let's see how he handles this in traffic this time. So look, like you said, he's definitely defending the line, taking the inside. And then Leland was trying to dive bomb in one more time on the inside of the next corner. But as they go up the hill, looks like Leland's got a better drive going up there. I don't know if Michael was being a gentleman, knowing that Leland's faster and letting him by. Not really sure, but definitely glad to see that. 2 wheels off. Glad to see that, he was able to get Leland get by there without any incidents this time. So that was absolutely great. All right, so that puts Leland right behind his racing stablemate of myself. And we're going to keep an eye on that one because it was probably about actually that's less than 6 or 7 seconds back there. So definitely going to see what's going to happen because Leland, I will say, is definitely faster than me. So no doubt about that.
10 to go. 10 laps
10 to go. This race is flying by, don't you think? There's supposed to be 25 laps. Does it felt like 25 laps?
It felt like 10.
It felt like 10? I know.
You know what else is flying by?
What's flying by? A bug?
Points.
Oh, more points? All right, who are you giving out points? Because last time was 90 points. No one's really crashed. Like, big time crash. So that's really good.
So I give them 100.
So everyone's got 190 points now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, her eyes just got big now that I calculated it. She's like, wow, that's a lot of points. I was like, yeah, it sure is.
Like, add the 90 to the 100. 190.
Yep. So what are you going to do for the people who get on the podium, which is first and second place? Do they get anything special?
They get to be, people who get first place For the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, those people who is going for me to be cheerleading for. And if all you other racers want me to cheerlead for you, you should change your car.
Well, I think that's going to be something maybe next season when we have the race. You can give out a prize to somebody who has the prettiest car.
Really?
Yep. So we'll actually give out some award to people for having the prettiest car that you decide.
Okay, so I just had an idea.
What's your idea?
Next season, and we're still doing this race. One race we are going to find a prize, and all of you racers are going to do your car of what maybe I would like, and then whichever one I like most wins the prize that we find for them.
So give them an idea of what kind of cars you would like and see on the cars.
Well, you could look up some of them on Netflix.
Oh, goodness. So basically, just find out what a 7-year-old girl likes on Netflix and put it on your car, and you're probably a winner. All right. So if you did notice, looked like Michael Cabrera and Eric had pulled into the pits. And so they're going to be setting up their spot. So we got 9 to go. So maybe they stopped a little bit early. Maybe they're trying to go for tires. So in the action here is myself, actually up to 4th place. This is my highest position I've held the whole entire season at this point. And we have Leland right behind me, still keeping pretty close ties on what's going up. So probably about 4 or 5 seconds there. All right, so Eric just regained the race from coming out of the pits. Looks like he's just right in front of Andrew. Oh, no, that's Junie. My bad. Sorry, Junie. All right, so Junie comes back in, and he is back into 10th place at this point. So Justin's still out front. Trevor, who was in 2nd, did take a pit stop. So he is dropped back to 7th, and I'm sure he's not going to end up there because a lot of people still have to take another pit stop. So that wasn't Eric that took a pit stop. I'm sorry. That was actually Junie at that point. So next season, we got to figure out how to put people's names plastered all over their cars. Make it easier to figure out who is who. All right, there goes Junie sliding down sideways through the corkscrew. That was beautiful, man.
8 laps to go.
Yep, definitely style points on that. So Justin Katie just crosses the line, makes it 8 laps to go. So there's myself still holding off Leland Giddens. I know that on the chat during the race, he was trying to get me to fall under pressure, which normally does happen. I get sidetracked and then I crash and I wreck. So and then he laughs at me as he drives by and pretends to wave through the digital world. But I think this week may be a little bit different. So we'll have to keep watching. It's nice to see teammates running together. I know there's a lot of camaraderie between that because, you know, teammates always want to make sure that, if anything, they at least beat their teammate in a particular race. But I will say the first 5 races of the championship that Leland did get the best of me, usually in the top 4, which is great for him. So he had one little off, and we'll see, we'll see how that plays out. So it looks like Leland's getting a lot closer now with 7 to go. So the pressure is on. All right. Want to take a little bit of a look at Justin here. Justin's all by himself. What's up?
Well, he's like Red Riding Hood.
Why is he like Red Riding Hood?
I know he's not a girl, but he's alone. Red Riding Hood was alone.
Is that your book of the week?
What?
Red Riding Hood?
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Just wondering where you got alone. She had grandma, even though she got eaten. But
No. I mean, the grandma wasn't with her. She was alone.
oh, did I spoil it for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't don't get it. You're making no sense. 7 laps to go.
All right, here we go up the hill and back down through the corkscrew. Oh, a little bit wide, makes it up. Oh, nice exit through there. Definitely a difficult apex to hit there because if you overdrive it, you run off the course real fast because the way that closes up on you. So here we go through a third gear corner through a short little straight. Depending if you carry enough speed, you might have to kick up to fourth. There it goes, and then back down into second for a really tight left. And you want a good exit out of here and trying to make it up the line. So there's Justin Hall out in front of myself. So Eric is showing in the pits right now. So that moves myself into third, which is definitely the highest position I've ever had in my lifetime, I think. So hopefully that'll cycle through next time and you guys can see it. And looks like Justin Hall is going to lose a little bit of time. It looks like I'm catching him at this point ever so slightly. So yeah, we'll keep tabs on that and see how that goes. All right, so Trevor's up to 6th right now, so he came back from higher places. Bob Lucher got into 8th, way past Chris. I wonder if Chris went through his pit already, and if he did, it looks like he's so far behind he might have grabbed tires. So it might have slowed him down. Maybe didn't uncheck the box for tires as he was going through the pits. So we'll finish up the lap going down the corkscrew. All right. So there's Zane and Leland in the background still hanging on. Look at that. For the first time, I think I have a car that doesn't have any damage on it. What do you think of that?
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. That never happens. All right. So there goes Justin, Hall, and Leland into the pits. So I'm staying out for one more lap. So we just got the 5 to go. So that would actually put me into 2nd place. That is crazy.
You're in 2nd place.
I know. Does that ever happen?
No, but I'm glad it has. I'm glad it has. And also, Justin Katie has won the last race, right?
Did he win? Yes, he.
Yeah, he wins a lot. He's a good racer.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because he has 3 wins and Trevor has 2. So there's been our only 2 winners that we've had in this short series of 6 races. So we'll see if I can stay onto the podium. And Trevor Renson, there he is, moved up to 3rd. So his early pit stop strategy has him back on the podium, and he will move into 2nd place after I have to go into the pit and get a splash and go of probably about a gallon, maybe gallon and a half, just to get through last 3 or 4 laps. Trevor's definitely making up some time on me. I know that he did take tires, so he's got fresher tires that only lasted half the race. So he will definitely catch up. Haven't seen any spectacular crashes, have you?
No, everyone's doing really great.
I know. I think
today.
everyone's finally getting a hold of how to do this iRacing thing. All right, so I'm jumping into the pits. So that means I'm going to go jump out of this car and go jump into another car. All right. And there goes Justin Katie across the finish line. 4 to go. So Trevor's still he's quite a ways back. Don't know if he can actually make up that kind of time, even though he does have fresher tires. But it only gets you about maybe a second and a quarter, per lap. So with 4 to go, that's going to be, you have to have a mistake by Justin Katie at some point. All right, so here is Junie holding off Andrew into the corkscrew. Definitely can see that the tires are starting to go off and talk a lot more as well. And I know that usually these particular cars, will run slicks, and slicks generally don't talk to you with a lot of chirping going on to tell you what's going on. But the iRacing did include that, because we don't have something moving, while we sit on our sim seat. So we use the audible noise of the tires to figure out where our grip level is and where we can push and not push. All right, Bob Blucher is in the pits. I think he took 2 tires, even though he didn't want to. And I know that's a NASCAR thing to do, is to take 2 tires, not so much around Laguna Seca, but he said he couldn't uncheck the boxes fast enough not to get the tires. So,
That's funny.
yep. All right, so I'm out of the pits, still in 3rd place on a podium, but I came out right in front of Eric, so I had a little bit faster pit stop than he did. And here's the race right here, going up and over the hill and down the corkscrew. Eric is no doubt a much faster driver. He gets a much better line, quicker line through the corkscrew right there. But I know he knows there's 3 to go. He does not want to dash his hopes. I'm trying to hold him off on the inside of the line. Eric backs out a little bit, decides to be conservative at this point, and he knows that passing on this next corner is a do or die situation. So he'll wait, probably take a better line out of this one. Oh, and I lost the back end a little bit, so that I lost some speed coming off the corner, which gives Eric, who has much better drive out of there, just go ahead and give him the top space going over the hill. So he'll get 3rd place of the podium, and I'm regulated down to 4th, which still excited about, because that's still my best placing so far in the series, as high as it can go. So I will gladly say that a lot of my endurance racing experience that I have has really helped out with races that have pit stops, because I generally do much better on those. Not sure why. Maybe I'm just a better endurance driver. No idea. Definitely not a sprint driver. I just don't have the speed like some of these guys. But nonetheless, it's all fun. It's great. For those who want to get into iRacing, please say something below in the comments when we post it to the Martin page, and we'll be glad to help you out to get started. All right, so back to the action. Lexi, a lot of stuff has changed with all the pit stops. Why don't you say what's going on with 3 to go?
3 to go?
3 to go.
So, do you want me to go down the leaderboard?
Sure, go down the leaderboard.
Yay! In 1st place is still Justin. Wow. In 2nd place is still Trevor. They're fighting. In 3rd is Eric. In 4th is Zane. In 5th is Leland. In 6th is Justin. In 7th place is Michael. In 8th place is Junie. In 9th place is Andrew. In 10th place is Robert. In 11th place is Carl's.
Whoa, there's a little quick off. Yeah, sorry about that. The quick off. Right there for Trevor Redson. Way to grab that up and stay on track. So, yeah, looks like something happened there. Justin Katie is out by a mile. Can't even see him on the track at this point. So, not sure what happened, but he's still holding on to 2nd place. All right, go back.
Was I at 10th place? 11th? Yeah, I was 11th. In 11th place is Chris. In 12th is Robert. Wait, that's Richard. Sorry. In 13th place is Robert.
Yep.
I mixed their names up.
Yep. Oh, no.
Sorry, Richard.
That's okay. Andrew, a little bit off there. I know the tires are losing some grip. Way to collect it, not get hit, and keep on going. So I know you're fighting there with Junie for a little bit, but looks like he's gonna stay. And we'll hit. All right, so 1 to go. White flag. One
to
to
go. So when there's a white flag, does that mean it's close? And then when it gets black spots, that means it's...
Yep, so white flag means one more lap, and the checkered flag, the one you're saying with white spots, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep, checkered flag means the end of the race.
And then after the flag, the white and black flag, it's donut party.
Yeah, there's some interesting action that went on this particular week afterwards. So here is Justin So Richard, looks like he's come up on Richard. So Richard, or Dean, I should say, probably had maybe another issue, or maybe took too much fuel and 4 tires on the pit stop. Put him all the way back into 12th place. Bob is winning the contest between he and Chris. Still kind of close to each other, by about 7-8 seconds off at this point. So last time over the hill and down for Justin. He's probably on cruise control at this point. No, he's got a 10-second lead or so over on Trevor, but he's not taking it easy unless he's making that car slide for style points. Last turn. And there is the man with the checkered flag. Congratulations,
Checkered
Justin.
flag! Go, Justin!
All right, there's Trevor coming up. Second.
Woo!
Eric, a few corners back. Nice job. Definitely coming back. He did have a little bit of incident.
Justin, he is a good racer because I think he's gonna be winning lots of races.
Oh yeah, he does win a lot of races. So there goes Eric past the finish line in 3rd place on the podium. 4th place, not too far behind for the first time ever.
You!
Yep. Definitely proud about that one. And here we go with the donut party afterwards.
Donut party! I love donut parties. What if they're gonna make a pretzel?
Oh, and there goes Leland.
Once they crash a lot because there's not enough room.
Yep, pretty much.
And they crash for fun. And then once they crash, they sign off.
Yep.
Ooh, I made a jar.
All right, let's see. So there's Andrew just crossing the line. And Bob Blucher right after that. And Chris Wells crossing the line.
Go!
Oh.
He crashed.
He did crash. These guys are definitely having fun. Yep.
That means it's dark.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Oh, Andrew's upside down. Oh, not anymore. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in for the whole entire season. We've had a lot of fun driving and a lot of fun commentating. Lexi, what did you think of the whole season?
I really liked it.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of fun?
Yes, I did.
We're going to sign you for next year?
Yes.
Are you going to have more British accents?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of our season. So Justin Katie did have 3 wins, and by 1 point, I know it says out, but that was after he crossed the line. He won by he won by about 10 points just because it said out and it didn't calculate his points. I guess after the race he did something different and it actually disqualified him, but it was after the race, so he's going to get his points. Trevor finished in 2nd for the pros, and Leland finished 3rd. For the rookies, the ones that are going to actually get the payout, is going to be Junie Thompson, winning it for the brand new guys just jumping on iRacing for the first time. So congratulations, Junie. Followed by Michael Cabrera in 2nd place, and 3rd was Chris Wells. So congratulations, guys. I'm glad you made the jump and the investment in time and come out and play with everybody on iRacing. And we're very happy to have everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks when we start season 2 with multi-class racing. So thank you again, and we'll catch you later.
Bye. Wait, that's wrong. Bye.